Listen, every time I watch it, I get mesmerized. I think something's about to happen, like Transformers or some shit like that.
That intro's fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Do not adjust your TV screens, your phones, whatever you are watching on. It is not. Wipe it off. Wipe it off. You're not seeing things. There's a whole new AEW Dynamite review crew right now. It's probably going to change next week, but hopefully not. You got a triple threat right now. I am your host, the Z is Solid, a.k.a. today I am all elite, so the Z is all elite. I am joined by two of my co-hosts right now. To my, what is this? Left. To my left. You know what? Never mind. Sorry. Ladies first. Underneath me. That's kind of
Pause.
Underneath me is the wonderful, beautiful wrestling doll. Hello, how are you today?
I am good, thank you, Z. And you up there need to calm down and get your mind out the damn gutter, okay?
My guy to my left, my co-host.
I did not. He said it, so I thought it.
My co-host for our Sunday show, which I like to nickname SSWWUZ. Oh, which stands for Sundays with S and Z. The Raw and SmackDown review show. My guy, Steph Fed. What's going on, brother?
Bro, it is good. I sat through all the neat whackness tonight. I'm ready to talk about it and get the fuck up out of here. So let's do this. Let's do this.
Let's do it then, damn it. All right, first up, we had Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks, and this has been brewing for like 3 weeks now. It's kind of underwhelming the way that they did it. Well, the way that they started it was really good. It's any way that you would like to start a feud with somebody hot coming off a street like Ricky Starks has. But Juice coming in there for no reason. He still hasn't given a reason. I guess it was because he could. It still doesn't make any sense to me. This match doesn't even get underway. At least I got to see my guy Ricky do his entrance, and then it was it. That's the only thing I like to watch is him. If he can get his entrance off, I'm cool. He got his entrance off, and out comes Jay White. The funny thing about this is not a single decibel of noise raised. Nobody knew or nobody cared that Jay White was there. Nobody cared.
Need I remind you we were in Long Island?
It don't matter where we are. If you're over, you're over.
Care.
It don't matter.
They didn't care. They just didn't care.
Here's what I'm gonna say, right? And I'm sorry to cut in, but I'm tired of this bullshit, okay? I'm tired of Tony Khan being a petty bitch, okay? First and foremost, we have been hearing for months that Jay White is going to show up in WWE. For months. All of a sudden, Vince comes back and his ass starts to go AEW? What the entire fuck is going on here? And mind you had him take out Ricky Starks, arguably the best talent on the AEW roster, one of the best. Give me a goddamn break, come on. And then I want to hit AEW fans. Well, we like Switchblade. We want the Bullet Club. Y'all niggas don't know who he is. He did not get a single clap. No music.
He didn't get anything. That was pretty sad. That was really, really sad. I mean, I looked and I'm like, I hear the music and I hear Jay White. I'm like, the commentators didn't even they didn't even get about their seat. It was like,
Jay. However, it sounded like he did, but he's no Michael.
A little bit.
Excalibur sounds like he needs to stand more. This is what I heard. It's like, oh, it's Jay White. Great. Oh wow. Yeah. They just took out Ricky Starks. Great. Let's move on to the next segment.
Yeah.
That's how it sounded. No energy. It was no energy.
It was pretty lackluster. It's probably one of the worst AEW debuts I've seen, and I've seen almost just about every episode of All Elite since the start. And that's literally not a shitting on AEW thing. It's a really lackluster. I think it's probably the worst one I've heard. Because usually every time that somebody comes there, whether they are announced or not, it's usually a really big pop. Now, maybe you do have a point that it's Long Island, but I feel like Long Island it's still it's a decent New York, a decent wrestling area. So I feel like I don't think the location in that aspect is a sense of why he didn't get the pop. I just think that nobody cared because he's been a free agent for so long and nobody missed him. So I don't think that he's in super high demand. He would be a good asset to WWE. He wouldn't be a main event asset, but he'd be a good asset. I mean, I could see a good match with him and AJ Styles, him and Finn Balor. That would be pretty dope. You know, him and Karrion Kross, that would be dope. But as far as main event goes, he's not on the level of a Bobby Lashley. He's not on. I mean, I would still put AJ in that main event status too as well. But I don't want to see a Jay White versus Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. I don't care for it. Jay White's not the guy. So he would be a upper mid carder that can tease the top in WWE. So AEW is probably where he needs to be, but they're not going to treat him right. They've not treated anybody free agent wise that they got. No, they don't even treat their own homegrown talent right. So for me, Jay White coming there, it was very null and void. I did not care. I thought that I would, but I just don't, because one, he debuted with Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson, trash. I don't care for him.
Is Jesus Christ still wrestling? Because apparently AD Crazy 88 thinks that Jesus Christ is wrestling, and I haven't seen God in WWE for about 12 years now. So I just wanted to ask: is Jesus? I missed memo.
I love the comment about that. Right? WWE doesn't need Jay White. Jay White needs WWE. He's absolutely right. WWE doesn't need a single soul. They don't. They could literally thrive off of their NXT and main event roster, and people will still tune in. Shareholders will still be invested. It does not matter what you do to them. Now, I see I see that I'm a fanboy of WWE.
I'm not sure if it was
he's probably talking to me because I've been talking the main time. You would be a lying ass to say that you haven't watched WWE more than half of your fucking life. So you are also a fanboy. You just have an alternative in AEW. You had an alternative in TNA, but you probably didn't watch it, even though it was better than WWE at the time, but it didn't get the viewers.
Yes,
so
sir.
in all reality, we are at some point all WWE fanboys because it's the only thing. It's a monopoly. It's the thing. When fast food restaurants try to hone their recipes, you know who to go after? McDonald's. It's the number one. Whether you think the food is good or not, it's still McDonald's at the end of the day. Wrestling Dog, what was your take on Jay White's debut, or whatever they want to call that trash?
Bullshit.
Yeah, this is the only thing I didn't really care for too much, besides something else that happened a little later in the show. It was okay. I expected Jay White to come out when they called him in. There were some people that looked excited, and of course they piped in the applause, because why else? I didn't really care too much for this. All I saw was Ricky Starks getting beat up for like 5 minutes. Like, why turn Ricky Starks into a jobber? He didn't need to be the jobber.
Because they don't know what to do with their talent. This is the thing, right? And I don't want to sound like a WWE fanboy, right? Because AEW fans, you guys are fickle as fuck, okay? Because y'all will swear up and down that E does not know how to handle talent. Y'all will swear up and down that the E does not know how to handle talent. But they have taken a Ricochet and made him literally a upper mid carder. Literally, he's doing so great right now under Triple H. We have taken, let's see, Austin Theory, and made Austin Theory a star, arguably one of the biggest heels on that brand. So what the fuck are we doing to Ricky Starks, who literally is being compared to The Rock all the time? He has the talent, he has the look, he has the pedigree to be a main eventer. Why are we having him jogged out to fucking Juice Robinson, of all fucking people, Juice, and fucking debuting? I would understand if he was in the ring cutting a promo, and then Jay White comes and switchblades him, like Blade Runners him. Understand it.
Ring the bell.
This was bad. This was bad booking. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. No, this is bullshit.
It was one of the most underwhelming. I am interested in what they're going to do with that, only because it has Ricky Starks involved, and Ricky Starks has been my guy since day one. So I'm not gonna say. Well, I am going to say I am disappointed in it, but I'm still going to try and give it a chance. That's basically it. The next,
I'm talking to the two top upper people here. I watched WWE when it was great. You guys praising it now are the worst. It's trash content at this point. All hail Mercedes Moné for making the best decision of her life.
All hail Mercedes Moné. Hold up. Let's stop that right there.
Invalid.
Mercedes Moné
is signing since WrestleMania weekend.
Mercedes Moné is a spoiled, self-entitled brat biatch.
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 She is not even regarded as one of the best in her own 4 horsewomen stable. She's not. She can't out-wrestle Charlotte. She can't out-wrestle Bayley, and she can't out-talk Becky Lynch. So where does that leave you? She's been difficult to work with. She doesn't know how. The best thing that she's done is give the honors to a Bianca Belair who's already surpassed her career.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And then she goes to New Japan. She botches her own finisher during her debut.
Jesus.
She can't even cut a decent promo. I've seen better promos from her in NXT than I've seen with her now. But you guys are going to
Dana Brooke cuts better promos than Mercedes Moné.
There's no way that you can possibly make me think that Mercedes Moné did the best thing. Kari, no, she did not. No, she did not. Okay. Anyway, moving on to the next match.
Yeah, let's
moving on to the next.
For like 15 minutes about that.
That's beautiful.
Moving on to the next thing. So we're looking at this trios championship match. Orange Cassidy and Best Friends versus House of Black. They're giving House of Black a new entrance. It was a weird entrance to me. I kind of like their original entrance. I guess it's their championship entrance. But I didn't think that it was just weird to me. No gripes about that. It was still cool, but it was just a little weird because it was different. Obviously, new things, you have to, get used to them. I didn't particularly care for this match, though. Orange Cassidy and Best Friends don't seem like a viable threat in the trios ladder, right? Like they just don't to me. Orange Cassidy's I feel like he's a really good upper mid-card guy. The crowd loves him. They get behind him. He has a good gimmick. He can wrestle his ass off, but outside, Trent Beretta's acceptable to me. I like Trent Beretta. I think he's got a good look. I think he's a good mid-card look. Kind of reminds me of Matt Cardona. I think he has better wrestling skills than the other guy. I can't even remember.
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor. I think he has better wrestling skills than Chuck T, but I will say that outside of this is one of my things that I don't like about AEW that they highlight a lot is a lot of spot things, a lot of super kicks, a lot of waiting for somebody to make a move before you move, and it's very like they're trying to have a fast-paced match, but they're not on the same accord. So you can see people standing, waiting, and if you're going to try and promote this is your style of wrestling, everybody should be on board with it. It's not all matches. It's just this one. It's very particular to point out because you saw Brody King waiting to get DDT'd. You know what I'm saying? Like he was waiting to get kicked when he should have just been rushed like that. Those one of those things where this is one of those things where like you need to. Yeah, he's wilding right now. He's wilding right now. You know he's been doing AEW.
Guys, I want you to know why we're laughing. So this individual, wonderful human being says UPR needs to hire AEW talent to host this review. I'm all for it. Well, if you are, they're accepting applications now, so you can leave your name, your email address, and we'll get back to you. If you think you can do better than us.
I'm handing out all types of applications. You come on, I'm handing out all types of applications. Come get this work.
For
I'm
real, bro.
Wrestling Dog, what was your take on this match since you are the AEW defender right now?
Well, let's see. I enjoyed the House of Black. I'm finally happy that they're champions and that they're becoming a little bit more of a dominant force. Best Friends. I like Orange Cassidy. I have since day one when I first started watching AEW. When I started seeing the Best Friends before Trent Beretta came back, when it was him, Cassidy, and Wheeler Yuta, who I've also been a very big fan of since day one when he was just a jobber and now is kicking ass at the Blackpool Combat Club. But this match, it was good. It wasn't the worst. The spots where they just wait around to get hit is annoying, but it's like they're trying to do some of the things that WWE did or doesn't do now that trying to appease to the fans. But I'll be honest, this match I was busy playing one of those games on my phone because it bored me a bit. I'll be honest, a teeny bit it bored me.
Oh.
I'm gonna talk some bullshit, okay? I'm gonna be honest, okay? She's being nice. She's being politically correct. This is not the show for political correctness. This is
my
a bullshit
opinion.
match.
I don't need to be politically correct about my damn opinion.
All right, check this out.
I don't like Triparetta.
Hold up. I'm being politically correct about how bullshit and boring the match was. First and foremost, right? If you're spot waiting, and I'm sorry for this, if you're a professional wrestler and you're still doing shit that they do on the indies, you need work. And I'm not saying that none of them are talented. They are all super talented. But spot waiting and literally checking the shit, like I'm gonna wait for this DDT and shit, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. Bullshit completely. I'm sorry. I gotta look at my brother and my sister. Like, see how I'm shooting the show. Y'all heard their whole conversation. All I'm saying is, all right, bullshit all around, okay? But I'm just gonna say, like, I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have in terms of if the match hadn't had all those waiting times, if they hadn't had them stalling. I did enjoy the finish. I enjoyed that Buddy hit the stomp, like a little homage to Seth Rollins. I was feeling that. I felt like that was probably the best part of the match. I was like, oh shit, Seth! He's still paying homage to you, but then the rest of the match, I couldn't say I enjoyed it. And it's not because I'm being biased. These are all talented individuals, but I just didn't enjoy the match.
Fair enough. Like I said, on paper it probably looked great, but the execution was not pretty good. He might be my new favorite person. He might be my new favorite person right now.
In the chat.
He might be my new favorite person right now.
This is when I woke up. This is when I woke up.
This is when you woke up. That's funny because this is when I fell asleep.
Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna defend my women's wrestling right now.
Okay,
I was very
the problem with what they are doing with Jamie Hayter, right? And I think Jamie Hayter is dope. She's a really good talent. She reminds me of a more brawling style of a Toni Storm. I think that's a pretty good assessment of her. Where Toni Storm uses a little bit more wrestling, a little bit more grappling. She uses a little bit more brawling. But they are from the same umbrella. But I don't like what they're doing with Jamie Hayter as far as her title defenses. She's gotten a lot of respect all over the world. And AEW fans will act like they clamor for her. But if they clamored for her, they wouldn't have forced that woman to deactivate her Twitter from being bullied. That is no need for that. You don't need to bully somebody. Especially people that probably have never taken a bump in a wrestling ring. I've taken a bump. Shit hurts. True story. I went to Jay and Mark Briscoe's farm in Laurel, which is about 10 minutes away from me. Went on the top rope, took an elbow drop. That shit hurt, hit my funny bone. I said, you know what? I no longer want to be a professional wrestler. That was 18. That was when I was 18. I'm 36 now. I'm good. I've experienced what I need to experience. I'm good. But for those people to make fun of her and force her to deactivate her Twitter, I thought that's kind of classless, even though y'all sit here and say AEW needs to give these people a chance, these people a chance, these people a chance. And then they give her a chance and then they're like, oh, this is trash. She got a title shot out of nowhere. I don't understand. But AEW does have a problem with, in my opinion, building their own women stars. They have to come from somebody else. Outside of Britt Baker and Jade Cargill, in which I don't even think Jade Cargill's a star. I'm sorry. I don't. I know that she's
not the only one who doesn't think Jade Cargill.
I know that everybody says she's,
that woman is not a star.
She's beautiful. She's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, but she is still a step counter and she cannot execute simple moves to the normal eye. And I can't execute simple moves, but I know I can do them better than her. but she's got at least 60 matches under her belt right now,
50
and
something.
she still does not look like she's ready for a Toni Storm. She was barely able to keep up with Madison Rayne. But you expect me to take her serious to go against a Toni Storm, a Jamie Hayter, a Britt Baker,
I'm just
Ruby
waiting
Soho.
for Chris Statlander to come back and smack her up and take her belt.
Statlander definitely needs to.
I'm definitely waiting for Statlander to come back from injury and smack her up and take that belt over her.
But going back to this match with these two ladies, because I definitely got off track. They gave Rio some nice spots, and she has one of those Rey Mysterio type personas about her. I mean, she looks like she's 12, but she can go with anybody. She can take hits. She can take bumps. But against a person like Jamie Hayter, immediately looking at this on paper, I don't say, oh, this is going to be a great match. I look at this and say, Jamie Hayter's definitely going to squash her. I'm tuning in to see how she's going to squash her. That's the only reason to watch it, is how is Jamie Hayter going to win, because she's obviously going to win. And it's not like the odds are stacked against her where they're doing the bully situation with how Britt Baker and what's the other chick that they had? I don't know. Rebel and Hayter, they was doing the Mean Girls shit, but now that kind of goes to Toni Storm and them. If they were doing that to her, I could see it. I want to tune in to see how she overcomes it. This had no buildup outside of her coming to help the outcast. So I wasn't really invested in this. It was more so how Jamie Hayter is going to win. But I will say that this continues to make Jamie Hayter look strong. She looks like a threatable champion. It makes her look like nobody can touch her. And that's what you want out of your champion. I will say this is probably one of the best talents that AEW has in that women division. So it made her look strong. Didn't do too much for Riho, but she looks like she's 12. So you can't talk shit about her. She's going to overcome one way or another, and Tony Khan is going to make sure of that. So, Stefan, what did you think about this match, brother?
I think everything you said was right. I love Jamie Hayter. I think that she's an incredible talent. I think she deserves to be champion. I like the way that they're bringing her strong. I like the way that, like you said, like we tune in not to see, to see how Jamie Hayter is going to squash somebody. We definitely know that they're keeping her strong. I just want to know who's going to step up to her and actually take her out. I think that's what I'm wondering mostly. I'm like, who is going to be the one to dethrone Jamie Hayter at this point? So that's kind of a wonder of mine, but definitely great talent. They're going to protect Riho because she's one of, if you guys don't know, Kenny Omega is in charge of the women's division in AEW. He's protecting Riho because he has a lot of respect for her and he loves her. He brought her into the company. So I do think that does have a reason. That's a big reason why she's so prominent. But as far as Hayter's concerned, the match did what it needed to do, as we say very often. And literally that's about it. I mean, I don't have very much to say about the match. She like Rio ate a Haterade. I love that move name. I love that move name. It's like, I think it was a ripcord Haterade. I'm like, oh shit, that was cool. That was dope. But wrestling though, what do you think?
Well, let's see. From this being one of the matches that I actually did enjoy. Yes, AEW doesn't have the best reputation with handling the women's division. I will give it that because there have been times I've watched AEW watch the women's matches and be like, why the hell was this even on my TV? Like me every time I watch Jade Cargill on my fucking TV screen. Now, here's the thing. With this match, it was the current AEW Women's Champion versus the inaugural Women's Champion. So I was interested to see how it would go. It was very entertaining. It was a battle of brawl versus quick, wispy Rey Mysterio style, which I enjoyed watching. I like seeing that it's not an immediate babyface versus heel because Jamie's not really a heel anymore, but she's not really a face. She's kind of like somewhere-ish in the middle with Britt. Again, I was very entertained. I would like to see who's going to take the belt from her. And I'm going to go off track for a second. I just want to see somebody take the damn belt off of Jade Cargill. 55 wins and this woman can't wrestle for shit. She's not skilled enough. She's still counting her damn steps. I'm like, she doesn't get a pop anymore. Like, not a big pop. Hey, Tony Khan, February's over. You can stop pretending like you give a shit about your black talent.
Yo, she's speaking big facts right there. She's speaking big facts. Listen, Tony Khan has done this shit every year. Every year,
all their black talent. When February's over, except for the Acclaim this year, who got the belts? Anybody that wasn't black.
Yeah. Yeah. And where the hell is Scorpio Sky? Like,
long gone.
Yeah.
He left Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway and American Top Team and all that shit. He's like, I'm done. I'm getting out of here.
Nah, we're not
at this point.
Yeah. So then we move on to the MJF Day.
Do we have to talk about MJF Day?
Hell yeah, we got to talk about goddamn MJF.
No, we don't.
Listen. Literally,
this
that
is
shit
the
just
only
made my
man that
balls
got a
itch.
pop
Like,
because
that's
he's
just
from Long Island.
so
This
cringy.
is the only
It's
person they
so
were cheering
cringy.
for
That
all
was
damn night long.
It was one of the worst segments I've ever seen. It was like an old Mick Foley type shit from '99. Like, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was pretty cringeworthy to me.
Anything MJF does is cringeworthy to me.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I'm gonna be in the minority here for once, and I'm gonna compliment AEW. 80 Crazy 88, I can do that because I'm nice like that. MJF is one of the absolute best heels in the business. I will say that. Like, that is one thing. But segments like these, I think.
Let me cut you off real quick. I just want to interject in that. You saying that statement, MJF is one of the best heels in the business. Yeah, so is Dominic Mysterio. So what's the point?
I said one of. I'm not.
Yeah,
but there is no.
I'm not comparing. Dominic can get out of
I am more interested in Dominic Mysterio than I am MJF.
That is wonderful. Check this out, right? That's all wonderful. He's one of the best heels. I enjoy his work. I literally do. I think
okay. Could you tell me why?
I can tell you in terms of character work. I can tell you in terms of personality. I can tell you he's his own kind of heel.
Dive in, brother. Dive in
to those old school heels, and I like it because he's never out of character. I feel like heels these days, they do break character and they do go outside of character. In the old school days, it's like you wouldn't break character. You would continue your character even when you're in the streets. I love the realm
of social media, in the realm of social media and the cancel culture and the Me Too movements, there is some sort of decency that needs to be had from a fucking professional. And he's playing the part too much. It's like those people that play hard, they play gangster, but when some gangster shit go that, like, I feel like if somebody real ran up on MJF, they would beat the fuck out of him. I really get that vibe from him.
Cool.
I feel like he plays
100%. But at least you live in the gimmick. That's what I'm saying.
But this is the thing. When he do that drink in that little boy's face, he didn't have to do that. In front of
I was mad about that. I definitely was mad about that.
Like,
he lives in that gimmick so long, he lost his fiance.
And that's pretty sad.
All right,
he lost who he was.
That's low hanging fruit, even for you.
Yeah, that's pretty
low hanging fruit.
That's pretty bad.
But I will say, fair enough. You know, in terms of like being a professional, there is a limit. There is a line that you shouldn't cross. Just like being a fan, there is a line you should not cross with talent. I think the same thing applies on the other end. I think that if we shouldn't follow talent in airports and hotels and all that shit, a talent should not spit in my face. A talent should not throw a drink in my child's face. A talent should not be misogynistic to me online or my girlfriend online. I don't think that's a thing. But I do believe that as a heel, he understands how to get a reaction. And that's what wrestling is about. We often talk about that in terms of if you're not getting a reaction, Jay White, you're not good at your job. You're not. Or the booking is not good. So I do respect what they were trying to do here tonight. I do respect what they're trying to do with his character in terms of the comedic aspect of his character and keeping him funny. You know, he's a chicken shit heel. He is funny, and I do appreciate that. But I appreciated more the stuff between him and also Jungle Boy at the end because they're teasing that. They've been teasing the four pillars fighting each other. So I do want to see that match at the next pay-per-view. I want to see the four pillars fight. I believe that's a big match.
You know who's going to win that, right? You know MJF is going to win that, right? So why do you want to see it?
I think I still want to see it. I want to see if they surprise us. I want to see if Tony Khan surprises us. I do. I'm hoping. Look,
you think Coke Boy is going to surprise us?
Look it out. Look, I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping that he makes a decision because obviously MJF is one of the people that he wants to keep on the contract. He's talking about the bidding war of 2024, like it's it's a thing for him, and he's eating off it because people are feeding into that shit. MJF is not going anywhere. He's probably locked in a contract until 2026. He's fucking with you. But the fact of the matter is, I think that you have four homegrown talent, literally in terms of MJF, in terms of Jungle Boy, in terms of Sammy Guevara, and in terms of Darby Allin. You should do something with your other homegrown talent. Those guys are your front line. They are your biggest baseline, your top merch sellers, whatever you want to call it. They deserve an opportunity as well. Like, I do want to see.
I don't think too many people buying Jungle Boy shirts, but
I mean,
I could be wrong.
JB, I feel like he does get his shirts. I feel like he does get his shirts.
I think he used to do good with shirts when Luchasaurus was with him.
Goddamn dragon coming out of fucking red flames and shit. We skipped that whole shit. And I want to tell you, if y'all don't wonder about Luchasaurus is coming out of back doors and shit now. Okay.
Listen, I will say that did get me excited to see Christian and Luchasaurus in that backstage segment, and they didn't have to do anything.
Yo.
100% made me.
You remember that?
100% made me more intrigued. The fact that they didn't speak, and now want to know what's going to happen next time I see.
Yo, bro, do
AEW.
you remember that Chris Jericho? Speaking of Chris Jericho, remember that segment with Chris Jericho where he would not say shit, and it would be like a weekly thing where he'd come out and not say absolutely fucking nothing, get the hugest fucking reaction, and then walk the fuck off. This was so reminiscent of that. Not a move, not a gesture, just a look. Man looked up the hallway. Luchasaurus comes behind him from the red smoke, literally a la Finn Balor, and fucking stands there. Beautiful. Mwah. That was beautiful.
So moving on, we got Sammy Guevara versus Commander. I could have done without this. The action of the match was good. Really good. Top notch. Sammy is getting some of the best international stars to face off against for the past 3 weeks. He's been going, but I've been a Sammy G guy since day one, as well as Ricky Starks. I think that he's definitely on that next level of top tier, and he's in his mid-20s. The problem with this match wasn't the actual match, it was the promo after the match. It was long, it was drawn out, it was very straining. It didn't make Sammy Guevara very believable to me. I felt like he was trying to overtalk the crowd because they were booing or cheering, or a mixture of both. Him. Yeah, but it was like a mixture of both that he couldn't overtalk. And at that point, I didn't hear.
I heard maybe 2 or 3 people cheering for him and have signs with his name on it.
I didn't hear any confidence in his promo, and him being a heel tweener, more so a heel than a tweener. I felt like you need to have some sort of confidence, right? Like, and he did not have any confidence. It was more so him trying to outshine the crowd noise, which thus threw his promo off completely and did not give him any validity. Wrestling Dog, what do you think about this match and the promo from Sammy G?
Well, the match I did enjoy. I've loved Sammy Guevara since the first time I laid eyes on him watching AEW, Dynamite, and Dark.
Bias.
It's the tongue.
Excuse you. Did you just call me being biased?
How you got shit that I say and not him?
Because I'm Latin and I have supersonic hearing. Anyways, I love Sammy Guevara, okay? I love watching him in the ring. I've enjoyed him as a face. I liked him even before he turned heel because the fans turned on him because of him getting with now Ty Mello during the whole thing with him and his ex-fiance. Even though Dykes didn't enjoy the promo and it seemed all drawn out, which I get, I enjoyed it too because he did make some fair points. MJF may be a champion, but he's a chicken shit champion who doesn't fight nobody. So I want him to go, all the other 3 of the 4 pillars to go after MJF, so he has no choice but to fight them all at the next pay-per-view. And the fact that everybody was booing him, I think that just shifted his promo, that it made him a little less confident in that, and he goes away, but that's not new. But I feel like he's able to handle it more better with all that booing because when he has everybody in the Jericho Appreciation Society and Ty Mello with him to help, keep him cool. But again, yes, he was a little shaky because of all the booing. I think it threw him off for a bit, and I don't think he was expecting that much booing, but they were on Long Island. It was MJF Day. He was talking smack about their hometown heroes. So, yeah, they're going to be mad petty about it. But he brought up some fair points. He's worked his way up in the Indies. He's working his way up in AEW. He's been champion 3 times. Darby Allin's been champion twice. Jungle Boy's been tag champion once. And then you got MJF being champion now. So who's the one that is actually proving? Tell us, MJF. Because you're not proving it because you ain't find nobody. Because you a chicken shit.
I'm gonna hit you with some to all the people that love Captain Me Too movement, Sammy Guevara. I feel as though Sammy needs to find himself. I feel like I don't believe shit about Sammy's character. I don't know if he's a face one week and I don't know if he's a heel the next. It's very confusing. I feel like they have to decide what he is and let him go in that direction. The fans don't know what to do, so they just boo him. And it's not, oh, you're a heel, we're booing you to give you that kind of reaction. No, you suck. That's why we are booing you. That is the reception he gets. And I don't want to shit on somebody's favorite. I understand you like Guevara, but at the same time, I feel like, yes, he's been a champion 3 times.
I'm gonna stop disrespecting Sammy G right now in the chat. Yeah, you're gonna stop disrespecting Sammy G.
Full respect to his 3 championship reigns. I loved when he was the champion. I love when he won the belt off of Cody. I completely respect him in that sense. I just feel like when you take a person from one character to another, there has to be character. You know, I think Ed said this, character development. They have not properly developed his character. So when I'm watching a promo like that and I'm seeing the fans boo the shit out of him, I'm like, okay, I understand why you're doing it. I wanted to cheer him during his promo because he is right. He did state facts. He did drop facts. He is probably one of the most decorated 4 pillars that are in the, among them. He is definitely right. Most decorated, been a part of stables, been literally the leader of storylines that applied him, inserting him into literally main event contendership. I love that. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I know what Sammy Guevara's, direction is. I know what no, he's not a tweener. I'm sorry. It's not like we're not going to do that shit whenever you don't know what somebody's character is.
But this is the problem with AEW. Nobody knows what anybody's character is. Their own people don't even know what their character is.
That's what I'm saying.
To say that he can't portray a character, I don't think that he's ever trying to. I just think that he's being what he was in the Indies, and that's the annoying, cocky, quote-unquote Spanish god sex symbol that he's always been. He hasn't changed. So therefore, he's not playing into anything but all he knows. And all he knows, he's learning it from the almighty Chris Jericho. Who's going to tell you that Jericho's wrong?
But Jericho is the master of transitional characters. He is probably second to Undertaker in terms of knowing when to take your character from one stage to the next. He is probably the best.
There's only been 3 stages of takers. There's been like 10 stages.
That's what I'm saying. Because Jericho knows. That's what I'm saying. Jericho knows when to shut something down, stop doing it. He knows when to double down on it. We talked about one of the iterations of his character where he walked out, didn't say shit. We've seen Rockstar Chris Jericho. We've seen, Let's Jump Beyond. We've seen different iterations of him. So why are you not teaching Guevara that? Guevara's character is stuck between a rock and a fucking hard place. And he's super over, super talented. He's probably literally one of the people I would believe most as AEW World Champion. But he can't get right.
I would believe that.
He can't get right. So I'm not going to invest my time, energy, and effort into reacting to him positively if I don't know what the fuck he is. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I feel like as an intelligent wrestling fan, as Mike Knox likes to say, I'm not rooting for you until we figure out in AEW's back office who the fuck you are. This is literally a TK.
And that's a Tony Khan thing.
Exactly. That is a Tony Khan thing. So I'm not going to put it on Guevara. But Tony needs to really figure out who the hell his characters are. And that's something that AEW lacks in.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left in this show. We got about two matches in a segment to go through really quick. I'm just going to say I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to. This was pretty bad.
This was bad. I will say that this was bad. I was pissed that it was so short.
I went to the bathroom.
Sick. I'm so sick of Hook.
I was over Hook since day one.
It's okay.
I feel like at first it was cool. Hook shit was cool.
I never thought it was cool.
I never fucked with him at first. I'm gonna admit that I fucked with him at first, but now it's just like gain a fucking personality. You've been in AEW long enough. Gain a fucking personality.
You're gonna tell me this guy who's smaller.
Hook can get one.
This guy who's smaller, he's smaller than Darby Allin, but yet he carries the attitude of Mark Henry, and people believe him.
Speaking of Mark Henry, what is it with big men pressing little men? Keith Lee pressed the shit out of Chris Jericho tonight. I just wanted to say that shit. He had Chris Jericho shook as fuck.
The white hair Keith Lee, I'm not
Chris,
feeling
you're
it.
gonna talk shit about Adam Cole, so Keith
I think
Lee,
it's
even though
trash.
he's had his problems, decided to step in.
I love that it's Black History Month. I love that
Black
that
History Month was 2
representation
months
is
ago.
happening.
I'm not feeling the white hair.
I'm not either, but I'm
Keith
feeling
Lee.
the fact that he went up to Chris
That's
Jericho
not his
like,
fault.
Keith
It
Adams,
just
don't out
happens
your mouth, bitch.
naturally.
I mean, yeah, he's been getting gray hairs, and he's definitely been using Just for Men. And I got a little Just for Men. I gotta take care of my little beard. But I'm like, damn, but shit, I
I want to talk about how
it's-
pissed I am about this match,
listen,
and I have
man,
my reasons for why I'm pissed.
Look, I don't even know what's going on with the partnership between Ethan Page and Jeff Hardy. I think Ethan Page is a effing star.
That's Matt Hardy.
Everything. What I say, Jeff Hardy?
You
Yes.
did. You missed Jeff.
Did I'm sorry.
Every time you see Matt, you think of Jeff because
you
Jeff
know,
is
you know what I was
thinking.
thinking. I was
Like,
going to
really?
bring up. No, I was going to bring up the picture of Jeff Hardy that I seen. He looked like an old man. He got a rugged beard, and like I meant to bring that up. That's why it was on my mind. But I think Ethan Page is a star. Everything that you think MJF is, right? Ethan Page can equally be. He's already proven it in TNA, right? Like he looks like a champion, and he can talk. He's annoying. He can be just as annoying as MJF. They don't give him the time on the microphone to do it. They just give him somebody else to talk for him, i.e. Dan Lambert. Which is fine because Dan Lambert was doing the same thing that Don Callis is doing for Kenny Omega. It's just that when you do it with a mid-carder and you do it with a main eventer, it's a little bit different. This match did nothing for me. The only thing I guess they were trying to tell the story between Ethan and Matt.
Yes.
And that's basically it. I cared nothing about the firm. The firm now has lost all credibility since they dropped since MJF split from them. I still like them. I don't see Lee Moriarty anywhere anymore, so that's another credibility
He's going to be
drop.
on Rampage on Friday, so
oh god, that's another credibility drop for them. Big Bill hasn't been seen in a while. That's another credibility drop for them. So the firm is no longer a factor for me. So it no longer makes me intrigued in this. I cared nothing for it. I am tired of Hook in this fake ass championship. Therefore, I did not give a good dog damn about this match. Wrestling Doll, since you are defending AEW tonight,
okay,
go ahead.
I have nothing to defend about this match. I'm going to say that right now. I have nothing to defend about this goddamn match. Here's why I'm pissed. Like you said, Ethan Page is a star. They need to stop putting this man in factions or storylines with people because it does nothing for him. At this point, it does nothing for him anymore. The only time he had a somewhat decent storyline with the faction was when he was with American Top Team with Dan Lambert.
That was great. American Top Team was great.
That was the only time it worked for him. Now it's just been going downhill. And now he's doing anything trying to get along with Matt Hardy, almost like trying to reiterate the Hardy family office kind of thing. I'm like, no, don't do that. And also, Hook is a pain in the butt. He needs to get, like you said, get a personality, but AEW doesn't know what to do with their talent in terms of personality, so he can't get one. The only thing that he is the cold-hearted handsome of which he's not all that good looking, in my opinion. White boy, not my type. But
brothers have a chance.
Ethan Page is a talent. He's a star, and I felt like he should have been the one to take the belt off of Hook because Ethan Page can talk. He's annoying and cocky as hell, so why not give him a belt and just take him out of the firm like that? He doesn't need Stokely. He doesn't need anybody else in the firm. He's good on his own. So have him be by him damn self.
I just feel like they keep trying to make this FTW championship like a pre-championship championship. Like,
crying out loud, this place has 12 championships.
It's so many. Like, you deserve a belt. You deserve a belt. You deserve a belt. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
That's what happens at the next pay-per-view they're going to have. They're making a 13th belt.
It's going to be an 8-man championship. Why?
A 10-man championship.
I will say this: Friday is Battle of the Belts, and knowing Tony Khan, Battle of the Belts 6,
all 12 of the belts.
I definitely guarantee no belts are changing. I guarantee that shit is not happening. Not happening on Friday.
Jade Cargill is stuck being champion until 2026. What makes you think they're going to change that belt? Anybody else?
Anyway, you said ATT. You said ATT. So shout out to Jorge Masvidal, who is going up against Gilbert Burns this weekend. UFC fans, aficionados. Yep. I just literally almost slapped my glasses off. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
So this says Tony Khan, like, so this is after that match, Tony Khan goes to make the announcement, and he brings Adam Cole in right after he brings the announcement, right? So if you notice, the last 2 times he's made an announcement, right, they have been underwhelming. So like Tony Khan starts the announcement, right? Tony Khan starts the announcement and Adam Cole finishes it because they're not going to boo Adam Cole, right? So Adam Cole has to take this fall for this terrible announcement that he decides that he is going to make just to tell us that y'all going across the pond. Us motherfuckers over here in America don't give a hot damn dog shit about that. I don't care if you're
across the pond. Who else is doing that for a future pay-per-view this year?
WWE got like 3 of them over there. Like they does that.
Hello.
They've been over there so much they don't even mention that shit no more.
Exactly. That shit be so nonchalant. Only reason it's being mentioned.
WWE's like, yeah, motherfucker, you know we about to go over there to London next week, right?
Like, look, we're going across the pond.
We're going across.
What do we gotta do? Let's go there too.
I feel like we need to get Nigel McGuinness over, and Nigel McGuinness, obviously, like if you guys don't remember, he was on.
He looks uncomfortable
as a commentator. Looked uncomfortable. So he was uncomfortable. He was. I feel like he's wishing for the ear to call him back.
He was standing next to Tony Khan in
the first segment I'm in.
Listen, hold up. Did you see Tony Khan's eyes? Them joints was bright. Listen, I swear to you, that boy didn't blink a single blink the whole announcement, man. He was wired. That boy like a coke kid after Labor Day. He was out there, man. Something's up with that man. Something is out with that man. But underwhelming announcement, trash. I knew it was going to be an underwhelming announcement. I knew it was going to be an underwhelming announcement. Scott, that is perfectly fine. You know, I will rip into you any day of the week. It does not matter. You cannot watch that show for 2 hours and tell me there was 3 things that was good about that, and I will battle you any day of the week about that. You know that for a fact.
I feel like
you have my phone number. A bad show is a bad show. You want to hear me talk about Raw from Monday? Tune in on Sunday. I will rip that too. So it has nothing to do with AEW. AEW can do much better than this, and I've seen it. I've seen what's the Friday night show? I've seen that better than this. I've seen that better than this that we saw tonight. Yeah, I've seen Rampages better than this. This what we got tonight was terrible. It was terrible. So if y'all want to talk about Monday Night Raw, don't forget to talk about Wednesday Night Dynamite. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not shitting on AEW to big up Raw. I'm shitting on everything. Now this, I will say, it's a nice touch. It was first of all, the swerve from Bryan Danielson last week, chef's kiss. Did not expect it at all.
Nice because me and Danielson again.
Me and Mike were saying that we did not think that. I was saying that when he came back, he was not going to be down with that, what they were doing, because they switched their whole moniker of why they started the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm sorry. And it was simply because they wanted to teach the younger generation how to have a mean streak, how to wrestle with dignity. And that's why they chose guys like Dante Martin to wrestle against over and over and over, because they was trying to instill toughness in those guys, old school wrestling into those guys. And what Moxley was doing, what Wheeler was doing, what Claudio was doing was not that at all. They were just picking on people because they thought they could. And I thought that was totally against what Danielson was trying to do, but he definitely swerved us, turned heel with them, and he gave a good promo of why he did it, because we never got that. We never got why. And I thought that was dope. So now I am all 100% even more invested in the Blackpool Combat Club. I thought Paige coming out there was a stupid idea because nobody was there to back him. And we don't care if there's nobody other than Kenny and the Bucks to back him. We don't care about anybody else. So
aren't the Bucks out because they're injured?
Oh yeah, one of them has a torn pec, a partially torn pec. Yeah, forgot about that. So I will say this was a good part of the show. I will not knock this. This was a really good part of the show. I think that they definitely have something here, and this is a good switch of what we see in faction dominance, right? We see the bloodline on the other coin in WWE, and we often see Judgment Day a little bit, and and so I think that for AEW to get into that dominant faction pool again, because before the Jericho Appreciation Society, when they were the Inner Circle, dominant, one of the best, if not in their time the best heel faction in wrestling, whether you want to look at either company. And Blackpool Combat Club definitely has to go in that conversation with what they've been doing lately, and that's completely fine. I think that what they did tonight was a statement, and now we're about to get a lot more stuff now that they have a good mouthpiece in Bryan Danielson. You guys' thoughts on the match or the segment with those guys?
I just want to say shout out to Claudio Castiglione, because he has one.
What you call that, man? You sound like he was just you sound like he was trying to pronounce a pasta that wasn't even invented.
For real, like I struggle with it. I would have just called him Cesaro. I'm just gonna call him Cesaro because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not
Claudio Castagnoli.
But what I will say is this, right? I will say this: like, he has one of the most serious uppercuts in the game. Like, he is
probably
so
the most
strong.
beautiful uppercut I've ever
seen. Like, it's beautiful. He did it just like this was clearly a squash match to get to the Bryan promo, Bryan Danielson promo, and I love the fact this was a squash match. You need to establish dominant factions. You need to establish your factions as we're gonna run Rup Shot. Mox understands that from his time with the Shield when they first came in, so he's naturally able to do that and to snap back into that mode really quickly. And I like the look of the Blackpool Combat Club. I like that each of these guys have gone from we did it to support the back to now we're beating everybody's ass in the back. Like, there's no taking no prisoner style. And for the promo, Bryan Danielson as a heel is just chef's kiss. It's incredible. Like, he can switch from babyface to heel, and I still love him. And his reasoning was great. He literally he said, I'm teaching my kids how to fix things, and I'm going to fix AEW all the amateurs. I'm like, oh, he literally shanked.
It is very reminiscent of the new Daniel Bryan.
Yes,
WWE.
It was.
And I love that Daniel Bryan. And I'm so glad that Daniel beautiful. Bryan was able to put Kofi Kingston over when he did at WrestleMania, because that Daniel Bryan, I don't care about Team Hell No Daniel Bryan. I didn't really care for it. It was more gimmicky than me, in my opinion. But the new Daniel Bryan was more, I feel like it was more tapped into what he really wanted to do, as opposed to building off of what WWE likes to do in the opposites attract tag teams.
Yeah.
I feel like that they often do that. Big guy, big angry guy, small calm guy. I mean, they've done it with X-Pac and Kane. They've done it with
Bryan Danielson and Mox when they first started BCC. So I feel like they did that shit here too.
That was actually Danielson's idea. So he was trying to recruit Mox.
Yeah.
But they needed somebody like a William Regal to kind of hone those two personalities together. And I think it was perfect. I think William Regal was there for what he was there for.
Yeah.
And William Regal would not stand for this iteration of Blackpool Combat Club. So for them to beat him down, kick him out, and he's gone was perfect. I think it was perfect. Wrestling Doll, your take on the BCC?
Well, first of all, when they said that we were going to hear from the Blackpool Combat Club, I knew they weren't going to be speaking a damn word. I knew the only thing they were going to do was go in there and kick some random people's ass. And it just happened to be 3 random wrestlers who I'll be honest, I went to go grab a drink, so I didn't see who came in the ring. So I don't know any of the other people's names. So I knew that all they were going to do was just kick some ass, beat people down, give a message to the back of the locker room, basically being the only faction that looks dominant besides the House of Black sometimes, and could also be good contenders for the Trios Championship match, for the Trios Championship belts in sometime in the future. When Hangman Adam Page came out, I was like, he's about to die. He's going to get hurt. He's going to get knocked out.
You're going to die.
Bryan Danielson is going to do to him what CM Punk wanted to do to Adam Page once upon a time ago. Jesus. And when Daniel Bryan Bryan Danielson, pulled out the screwdriver and poked him in the eye with it and tried to gouge it. I was like, oh my God, this is like when Seth Rollins poked Rey Mysterio's eyes on those steel steps. I'm like, they're really going for it. I'm like, so damn, looks like Adam Page is going to be a pirate cowboy ship right now because he's going to be walking out with a damn eye patch next week.
I'd see that. One eye sea biscuit. That's what we could say. One eye sea biscuit. Got you. I feel you.
Right. Okay. So moving on to the last. Thank goodness, the last part of AEW. Listen, an A for the whole segment. This was the grade for that. Nothing else on this chart got an A. That tells you everything you need to know. But this is Bleacher Report, so damn, we got enough. Oh yeah, no. This is
the last match.
Okay, I got confused for a minute. Main event.
Jeez.
The fact that Billy Gunn's sons are in the main event on television should probably tell you something.
That they should go back.
Yeah.
WWE did it on Saturday night. We got to do it on Wednesday night. That's all I see. That's all the bullshit. I don't want to lie. This is what it's like. Copy and pasting.
The Guns have never been believable. They have never been believable since they've broken away from Billy Gunn. For me, they just haven't.
I never liked them after they broke away from their dad.
Exactly.
I liked them when they were the Gun Club. I don't like them.
The Gun Club was definitely dope. I thought the Gun Club was more believable to their characters. Here, I feel like they're just trying to play into something just to piss their dad off, and that gimmick is getting very old now. It's like at this point in time
Daddy,
now,
we can do it better than you can. Watch, and we'll beat you down first.
At this point in time, I don't want to continue to see Rey Mysterio get harassed by Dominic because Dominic already lost something that he proposed.
No, he's gonna keep going after until he gets the win.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I understand that he probably will, but at the same time, that's the equivalent of Finn Balor still going at Edge. I don't want to see it anymore. I've seen it for a whole year. I'm good. Same thing with the Gun Club. I'm good. I don't need to see them anymore feuding with their dad, feuding with the Acclaim. It fell flat for me. It was at first entertaining. The little rap battle they had with Lil Scrappy out there, kind of nice. It was cute. But
the only thing I enjoyed about that was when the Acclaim kept calling the Mask Boys. Because of Danhausen.
Yep. So this match, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like this was a huge swerve for everybody. The action in it was actually pretty decent. The action was decent, but the storytelling was more believable to me. I thought that the action in it made a lot of sense. The little things that FTR was doing, the things that the Gun Club was doing, like the Austin tried to go for a low blow and he hit it in front of the ref, and he's telling the ref to ring the bell. They knew that, and Cash ends up stopping the ref from throwing the arm to do it. Like little nuances like that made the match more enjoyable than the action, and that's fine. Sometimes if there's a good balance of the two and they kind of play off of each other like a seesaw, that's great. I don't need a whole bunch of spot fest. I don't need a whole bunch of drama. So if I can get the theatrics of a WWE match and the storytelling with a main event, but then get the action of AEW with the spot fest, and you can find the median between them, I feel like you have the perfect, insane combination for a great wrestling match, the perfect wrestling match. And outside of the talent, I thought this was the perfect wrestling match. Not the perfect main event, because this could have you could have gave me the BCC at the main event for a main event segment as opposed to this.
I think this should have been the opener. I really do think this should have been the opener. I feel like this should have been, if Tony wanted to do something big for the show, have this open the show.
But no, remember, FTR had already said that they were going to put their careers in AEW on the line, so you need those viewers. So you had to push it to the back of the show. I would much rather
they wanted to keep them watching. So if they put that
it's
over, I don't have to watch more.
But at the same time, I would say that if you were going to put I feel like the BCC, how good that segment was, you couldn't put it last. Reason why, Raw ended on a segment, NXT ended on a segment. You're gonna let your show end on a segment as well. So I feel like
SmackDown might end on a segment this Friday.
Yeah. So like usually if Raw NXT ends on a segment, AEW usually does not end on a segment, and I thought this was pretty fine for the circumstances of the competition. I thought the action in it was good. I thought the drama in it was good. There was nothing wrong with this match. I just thought that FTR, for all intents and purposes, they teased this on the outside too much, and I felt like that was a plan all along. I definitely thought that their contracts were ending, and that's why they're going to lose this match, based off of everything Dax was saying. And I would love to get them back in WWE to face the Usos now. Seeing so you're just going to disrespect the Usos like that? Like the Usos ain't been running for the past 3 years. I'm so disappointed in you this evening, Scott. You're still my guy. We're going to have that beer soon, but I'm so disappointed in you. They may have had a top 5 match of the year in 2022, but that does not make them the best tag team of the whole year. And we already know how we feel about them boys. It's them boys over everybody except for the Usos. And that's only because I think that's one of those.
I will say that this match, like you said, I don't think there's very much else to say about the match except that it was a wonderful match. You know, the swerve at the end of it, obviously, I thought FTR was going to lose. I think everybody went into this match and they did. They wanted you to think that. They wanted you to think that they were going to lose and they're going to go to the E. And I feel like they did this twice, once at the beginning of the show and once at the end of the show. And I feel like for the beginning, it fell flat. At the end, it was actually really good to have FTR actually continue to be to win those tag titles and continue to be part of the AEW brand. Where do they go from here, though? You know what I mean? Where do you go from here with them? That's what I want to know. Where do you go with the Guns? Like, that's what I want to know. I think that at this point, like you said, they can't go backwards and feud with the Acclaimed and their father. Like, that's play it out. What are we doing with them? You know what I mean? I think that you have to really have a plan for these two tag teams. Are we going to get a rematch? What are we going to do with these guys? Obviously, they're all super talented. This match is storytelling. The story literally, I think, was, hey, it's obviously career versus title. Like, the Guns want to protect their title. You know, the Guns want to protect their titles, and, you know, FTR wants to protect their careers in AEW. Do I think that the FTR could go back to WWE and be fruitful under Triple H? Totally. But I think a lot of teams are rethinking it now. A lot of people are rethinking it because Vince has stepped back into not in the weeds creative, but creative in general on a higher level. And what does that mean? You don't get any, you know, like a lot of people turned away from WWE because of that. Because when Triple H was in power, it's like, okay, we can bring everybody back. We're bringing Nia Jax back. We're bringing this person back. Like, Triple H is going out there getting everybody. Everybody wants to come back to the E. Now it's a little bit different. Now it's like, is Triple H going to be in power much longer? You know what I mean? Is Vince just going to take control of creative? Because Monday night, he took control of creative, ripped up the creative script, and look what we got the Monday after literally WrestleMania. So no one wants to work for Vince with his Hitler stash. Definitely agree with you. He looks like he's gonna tie somebody's damn train tracks. Like,
well, they said that man like Major Bison, boy.
For real, Fighter. He looks like he's dead. Hayashi Mishima, put the hair on. See him. Literally, I feel like you have to really see the energy of people that wanted to come to the E after Vince was gone. And literally, we were talking about Jay White earlier, and we were talking about the possibility of him going. And I believe I said this to Mike. I can't believe they didn't bring Jay White in. Like, that is a loss for the E. Obviously, he's a great talent. But as you said, Dice, the E doesn't need him. He needs the E.
So but I don't think that he like. I don't think.
I think what they need is they need to get people that will be mainstays, that will be able to uphold the company. I do think they need people that they can rely on.
I don't see when I look at Jay White. If I'm looking at Jay White, if you got Jay White in this hand and you got Will Ospreay in this hand, I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with Will because Will can be a better entertainer.
He can, and that's
all it is. It's all about dollars and cents.
Exactly.
With AEW, I'm all in the love of pro wrestling. I don't give a good dog damn. This is the third time I use good dog damn today. I don't give a good dog damn, fourth time, about pro wrestling if I'm trying to make money.
Exactly.
Do you think that Jay and Jimmy Uso would give a damn about New Japan Pro Wrestling? They just headlined WrestleMania for the first time in a main event, the first tag team to main event since like WrestleMania 2 or some shit. No, AEW's not doing that, and AEW's not paying that. So you can say what you want of people that say they don't want to be they um you can say that somebody can say they don't want to be in WWE, but you's a damn liar if you're going to say that your career is not going to be completed or culminated by not being a like Sting actually succumbed to it. Scott Steiner finally succumbed to it. Granted, he was gone for 18 years. He still came back and signed that Legends contract to solidify his career. And everybody is going to the great Muta, who never had stepped in a WWE ring, solidified his career with the WWE in the WrestleMania and at WrestleMania Hall of Fame. And there's not even a actual Hall of Fame. It's not real. They're working on it according to Wrestling Treasures on A&E, but it's not even a thing right now. It's the warehouse. But people will love the accolade of WWE Hall of Famer because it's mainstay, it's mainstream, it means big money, it means acknowledgement, it means in a sense of accomplishment. Nobody's going to say, here we have WCW legend Glacier here with us today. Hell no. WCW dead and gone. So Jay White would need to go to a WWE. I'm not saying that his career won't be better if he went to WWE, but at least getting under that umbrella, even if it's for a cup of coffee. If you're regarded as the best in the world, you have to do and you have to go where the best in the world goes, and that is the WWE. Exactly. We saw that AJ Styles did it when he was regarded the best in the world for 4 years straight, from 2012 to 2016, and he had never been under that umbrella, and he had finally got under it. And within 2 years, they're considering him a Hall of Famer, and now he's had a career. A Finn Balor. He's won everything in WWE, so yes, he's a Hall of Famer as well. So Jay White needs to take that next step, and I don't think that AEW is that next step for him.
I think the same thing about Kenny Omega. I think the same thing about the Young Bucks.
I think that Omega and the Young Bucks will jump within the next year. I think that they will jump.
I would love, not even to see dream matches. I just think the trajectory of their careers. I think if you've danced around a space long enough, you're bound to go into it. And he's gotten that call from Hunter a bunch of times. Like, we know that he's gotten that call from Hunter a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, when are we going to do work? When is it going to be about that work and not about politics? Any area you are, in any industry you are in, whether it's AEW or WWE, it's good for business. If you guys are making great storylines, people in the back are making money, it's great for business. I just think it'd be better for business if they were in the E. That's what I'm saying. And I think Cody is a perfect example of that. Now, I don't want to go on a Cody tangent, but Cody proves literally you can go from AEW and literally become one of the top guys. And mind you, Cody was out for 8 months with a pectoral injury. So nobody can say any bullshit to me about, oh, Cody, no. He was out, and he's still over as hell, even though he gets his ass beat on Monday night. I don't know what the fuck Vince was thinking. But
he wasn't.
No. We'll get into that on Sunday, because I have a really good theory, and I think that I will change your mind on Sunday morning. Switching gears, Wrestling Doll, what do you have to say about this main event and the closing thoughts of the night, or i.e. Jay White jumping to AEW?
Well, you definitely did explain how the match was. Storytelling, the match was good, action was good, storytelling was way better. I've never cared for the Guns being champions since day one. I've never really cared for them when they swerved from being in the Gun Club to trying to do their own thing to prove to their daddy, oh, we can do it better than you can. I just find that gimmick annoying. But FTR is good. You can't go wrong with FTR. I was low key hoping they wouldn't be losing because I didn't want to deal with the Guns being champions anymore. I'm like, I didn't feel like they were believable for me as champions. I just felt like they were two cocky little kids finally, but like those kids playing with plastic belts, dreaming of being champions one day. That's what it feels like with me. I couldn't take them seriously, so I'm happy they don't have the belts. I just wonder who's going to go after FTR first to become champion again. As much as I love the Acclaim, I don't think it should be them, not now. Let them focus on rejecting the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Would have been Top Flight, but they got hurt. So, well, Dante got hurt. So
I would have loved to have seen that, but my baby Dante.
That was terrible. That was terrible, man. Horrible. Oh man,
I didn't see the video. I don't want to.
His career went right. That's how that happened.
It was pretty bad. My guy Scott says they're pushing the Bullet Club thing in AEW. WWE isn't allowing them to do that. I'm curious to see what happens next with it. I will tell you why they're not pushing Bullet Club in WWE. You want to know why? Because Bullet Club is trademarked by someone else outside of WWE, and WWE cannot make that chitta the cheese, that chitta the chinga, that chingly ching off of Bullet Club. They cannot, and they are not willing to cut. They're not willing to go halfsies like Twitch users and followers. They'd rather do their own kick thing and give you 95 and take 5%. So that's why we got the Balor Club, and that's why we got the OC. But it doesn't matter what's in the name because these are regular people. These are people that we know who has these people have names. I think the OC is a much cooler name. The only club, the one club, the only club that matters. I like that. I like the Balor Club. It doesn't matter. As long as you mention club and there is some form of a person in it, you still have that in what you had in New Japan. And let's keep it a bean, as Mike would say. If this was New Japan, we still would not give it good dog damn. God damn, that's the words of the day. Good dog damn.
Good dog damn.
We would not give a good dog damn if they were over in New Japan and nobody else was peeping for them. So let's not act like if they bring it over to America for our corporations over here that it will be better. I think it's much better where it's at because that's where it was perfected. Exactly. Sort of like NWO was over here, right? But you also had NWO Japan. And the only person that came from NWO Japan to here was Muta. Everybody else, no. We can send people from here to there because America is bigger in pro wrestling, but Japan has the bigger culture of respectability. We have where we like it to be a spectacle of performance. They like it where it's a spectacle of talent and storytelling. So that's fine. You can keep those two things, separate and also bring them in at different times. What's going on, Elvis? How you doing, man? I ain't seen you in the chats harassing anybody lately. I hope all is good with you. God bless you.
It was a good goddamn miracle that he didn't.
Listen, before we get up off of here, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. I know this is a much different look for everybody. This is a 3-man weave. I'm sorry, a 2-man, 1 women weave right now. It may change next week, may not. Hopefully you get to hear me annoying y'all and telling y'all how much AEW isn't that thing. But I'm going to give it its props when I do give it its props. Tonight's show, I'm going to rate it as a C+. Not bad, not good. It's average. It was better than Raw. So that's a plus. But, I mean, Impact tomorrow could be better than Raw. So that's not saying much. Final grade, Steph and Wrestling Doll.
Yo, I will literally say, I'm not going to be that nice. I'm going to say it's a D-. I'm going to say they can do much better. And I definitely don't want to be a hater. You see what I did there, a hater. But I will say that. Exactly. I will say that there were some good points of this night. And I think I respect everybody that goes out there and goes between those ropes. So I definitely respect the wrestlers and the talent. But I think storyline wise, we really need to see them come out and come out the gates and just wow us. And they haven't been able to do that in a long time. So Wrestling Doll.
Well, I give it a C-.
Damn.
I gave it a better grade than you, and you were supposed to be defending it tonight. Wow, great defense.
There were a couple
defense,
things I enjoyed, but everything else pissed me off.
Yo, bro, you see that? You see that? That's confusing as shit, ain't it?
Listen, I tried. I was being nice, and I tried. But guess what? I couldn't.
Oh my god. Everybody, please tune in tomorrow. We have top 5 post WrestleMania moments. I believe
not this Monday.
I'm not even sure who's on. EC is on that show. Mike Knox is on that show. I believe I am on that show. I'm not sure. I don't even know. I just show up when they tell me to. Sunday morning, 11 a.m. You can catch Zia Silent Steph. We are on Sundays with S and Z, the Raw and SmackDown review show. 1 hour. 1 hour you get us. I can enjoy you for 1 hour on Sunday before your brunch. You get your mimosas, your mai tais, your eggs and cheese.
Maybe you'll be enjoying
the listen to me. You get to listen to me rant and rave the way that I do. And then, you can catch all of our other shows. But from the post probably new AEW review crew, this is Zia Silent. That is Wrestling Doll. That is Stefan. We are out of here. Thank you. And if anybody tells you they don't like you, you tell them you don't give a good dog damn, and that's because Dice said it. Y'all have a good night.
That's the bottom line.
Be blessed.
Be blessed, y'all.